Hello, Autumn. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, here's a story for you.
Oh.
Because a while ago, you asked for a story. Then
story.
You started putting creatures and where you wanted it set and everything, and then I think you realised
you didn't care.
I think I told you you don't have to fill it in, and you went, oh great, and so you put wherever for all of it,
which leaves the options open
to us, which is perfect because we have the perfect story in mind for you. It's all up here already. All we need to do is relay it,
unleash it
to the world.
Well, to you.
To you. So go on, Becky. How does it begin?
So, once upon a time, in a faraway land, Autumn Evans, singer extraordinaire, queen amongst all, was barefoot, stepping lightly through a mystical, enchanted forest. Snowdrops and crocuses burst from the soil with every step that she took. The forest loved her presence. It created life and nature. It brought the best out of every piece of foliage around her.
It did.
On she went. Sorry, you go.
No. As on she went, the wind started to sway in the breeze.
The wind is the breeze!
I know, I got confused. No, the wind and the breeze started to meet and started to dance in the sky. And the trees got influenced and started to move. And the birds were a little bit confused at a point why their flying was disrupted, but got with it and they were loving it as well. And then the leaves from the ground and the flowers started to soar up and into the sky, and as Autumn walked she could see above her colour and all this movement and swaying as she walked. And this went on for a couple of hours in beauty and grace and joy. And then suddenly the plants and flowers and trees and wind stopped reacting in this way. They shrank and cowered, not from her, just in general. Yeah.
They started to shrink into the ground and hide themselves and thought, what have I done? Is it my fault? She turned round and she could see someone in the distance, a person. And as she drew closer and closer to the person, she thought there's something not quite right about them, about their eyes, about the way their skin sits.
That was partly because they were hooded and she could still see their eyes and she could still see their skin, even though they were covered in this dark hood, even though their feet weren't even visible beneath this hood. But then she thought, they're not even visible, not just because of the hood, but because the feet aren't touching the ground. She couldn't see this person's hands either. She could barely see their face. All she could see were these gleaming red eyes.
She'd been told of this. These symptoms, if you will, were common of a particular species. But she decided to play along. And in playing this creature by his own game, she said, "What is your name?" And he said, "Oh, well, my name is Pierre." In his strange, metallic-y, out-of-the-phone voice. And at this point, Autumn thought, you know what? Fuck it. She turned to Pierre and she said, "I know what you are!" And with that, Pierre ripped off his hood, and not just his hood, but he ripped off his flesh to reveal his true form. He was a lizard person. Sent from the future to destroy Autumn's forest land, and she wasn't having any of that.
No.
Was she?
No. She stepped forward and she went, "Hey, you,
dickhead.
right? Okay? To be honest, this is not what I'm after. Right? I'm looking at this wood. Can you see it? This is beautiful. And you coming along here with all your ways, not having any of it. And the creature once known as Pierre went... This is my land now. And Autumn went, no. But before the word was even out of her lips, Pierre, or no longer Pierre, was suddenly growing. He was getting taller and taller and taller until he, this giant lizard person, was as tall as the beautiful trees that surrounded them. And he grabbed one with his claw. Lizards have claw. And the other with the other hand.
And had two different types of appendage.
And pulled.
Oh.
Autumn could hear from on the ground. She could hear the trees screaming. And he pulled again.
And at this point, she snapped. She whipped from her knapsack of TARDIS-like proportions her guitar, and she started to play a song in what she knew was the lizard people's weakness. Folk.
And from around her, all the animals came running, and all the birds came flying, and all the wind and the sun and the rain and all the elements,
forces of nature,
started swimming around her.
And they blasted the
lizard person straight in the gullet.
All the way to Saturn.
Off he went.
Done.
Blasted away.
Do one. Autumn turned to her woodland friends.
She thanked them
for their work and appreciation and for buying her wonderful album. Yes, which we all will. And continued her wonderful life amongst the leaves.
For summer was ending.
Winter is coming.
I was going to say autumn was coming because that's her name.
Summer was ending.
It was now the time for autumn. Hope you like the story.